Hello there.
Hey, man,
How's it going?
can you see and hear me?
We can see and hear you. You
Okay,
touch,
dude, I've been
touch,
having
touch higher. Go on.
like
Go on.
just the worst. These are the worst two Sundays as far as this stuff goes that just ever. I can't believe it. Um, okay, so first off, I checked it like during the week. I could have swore it was 3 p.m. Obviously, I was wrong. So once I saw your message, I'm like, oh my God, so I've been like resetting my router to make sure the connection's better. And I don't know if it's because there's like a pretty bad rainstorm right now here in South Jersey.
Probably.
It was not connecting.
That's
I
the reason.
kept resetting it. It's just been like a nightmare. Not to mention the fact I got no sleep. I'm hungover. I was considering asking to reschedule or canceling, but I didn't want to do that because you've been so gracious. So I'm like, be a man, just do this. So yeah, trying
It's
my
a
best
challenge
here,
for all
man.
of us, Michael, to be a man, being that stoic, creative spirit that we are. You know what I mean? You're a brother at arms when it comes to a lack of sleep. We have been battling a lack of sleep probably for the last 3 years. So we understand you there. You know, when you're dragging the carcass the next day and you're thinking, man, if only I'd have got to bed at that magic 9 to 10 o'clock. And then you're looking at the clock and it's 1 o'clock, maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. You're thinking, gosh, man, I'm going to be so beat the next day. So we understand exactly where you're coming from. Sleep, if you're suffering from it, it can be a bad thing, you know?
Yeah, dude. K-pop Katie,
Oh,
taking
K-pop,
it.
she's great. We've had her on the show. She's brilliant. We love her.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I was on there last night. Great time. I had some wine while I was on there, and then
Oh, yeah.
just continued throughout the night. Had such. I was like in the best mood, and I'm like, but I had a little too much as the night was going on.
Mhm.
And then um my brother and his wife have a little baby nephew,
Oh, bless.
and yeah, he's great. I love him. But something came up. I had to babysit him
All
like
right.
into the morning, and I just like have gotten barely any sleep, like I said. But dude, I'm stoked to be talking to you face to
We still are.
face.
Space, Michael Ferraro, stoked. Just curious that we are. Did you go for red or white wine?
Oh, I'm a red guy for sure. Yeah,
Same as us, same church, red guy. And was it
nice.
a jammy Merlot? What was it? What type?
Uh, a Pinot actually.
Okay. Tell you
I
what,
like
sounds like
Merlot. I think Cabernet might be my favorite.
go on.
I think.
That
How about
sounds
you?
like the to me, Merlot would be my favorite, but you know what? If I was in the house sharing some red with you, I'd go with what the Romans are drinking. When in Rome and all that business, we'd go, yes,
Yeah.
Michael, let's try this. Let's pour a glass each. And let's see where the storytelling talk goes. Right then, I'll tell you what, you know
Cool.
what we need to do right now is a bit of this. Oh, yes, I love it when we do that. Got to say, a bit of Planet of the Apes,
I
bit of
love
Alfred
that.
Hitchcock, like a bit of kind of like storytelling mix, you know? So then,
Awesome.
Michael Ferraro, we have been looking forward to this. We have. And you know what we're going to do? We're going to say this: the five pillars of storytelling live. Azrael, is going to speak to the one and only, highly regarded Michael Ferraro. Art, comics, movies, games, and toys are what we do around these parts. It's a storytelling thread, like golden thread, that goes through the eye of a needle, 5 needles, one overarching umbrella of storytelling, and let all those lovely storytelling raindrops drop from underneath. It's a mega niche with all those 5 niches underneath. But hey, don't get us on pop music and all different kinds of music. Don't get us on cooking. There's all sorts of pillars of storytelling. Why stop at 5? When you can have 5, you got to have more, right? It's Sunday, the 12th of October. We're chatting Cool It. Oh, yes. And
Hell yeah.
we're starting a little bit later, but we don't care. We're just glad that Michael's here. And we've got his profile picture in our intro. Please like, communicate, and subscribe, or even like, comment, and subscribe. Give us a little follow on X. Michael and our good selves are on X. Give us a follow there. If you're on, we've probably both got YouTube channels. Give us a sub, which is like a follow on X. Give us a sub there. Everyone counts. We call it the power of one. And every brick in your wall counts when you're building that wall of an audience, your tribe. Oh, what we got here, gentlemen. Crenshaw, Battle General Crenshaw, FAO is in the house. Gentlemen,
Great guy.
You doing chores, Crenshaw? Are you doing the pots for your lovely wife? Anyway, we'll tease Crenshaw. He's listening.
Awesome.
We're going to say we're glad you're listening, Master Crenshaw. We're going to test our typing while talking to Michael at the same time. Or multitasking, Crenshaw. There we go. So yes, there we go. He's listening along. Good on him. And we say, we're glad you're listening, Master Crenshaw. Right, let's get into the next slide, shall we? Right then, host introduction, and then we are going to be quite honest. Hello there. Welcome to the 5 Pillars of Storytelling Live, where we talk art, comics, movies, games, and toys. A lot of money in games and movies, folks. So if you can get your comic optioned as a movie or a game, you'll be in the money. Quid pro pro. I'm your host, Azrael. My secret identity is Carl Prometheus, storyteller, artist, and promoter of indie creators, indie comics, and doing our humble bit to help grow the indie comic community. Our style is universal. We can be watched by creative families, creative adults, and the creative younglings. More and more now can create indie comics as a family, something you can pass along to your children. You don't have to be working as part of the big two anymore. Our motto is to listen, to learn, and to share. Inspiring quote, comics are an international language. They can cross boundaries and generations. Comics are a bridge between all cultures. Legend, Uzuma Tezuka. Now let's move on. We want to get straight into it, Michael, because we know he's a high energy individual. So we're going to try and match him a walk with him tonight. Guest introduction, Gnarly Comic. Let's do some pros. He's such a nice guy and highly regarded in the indie comics community. He might not say this, but that's our job at the 5 Pillars of Storytelling, to help say it for them. Some nice words, gentle words of encouragement. Michael Ferraro at Gnarly Comic, creator of the webcomic, comic strip Gnarly Science. Working his words on my first physical comic, Cool It, which looks absolutely dynamite. It's at www.indiegogo.com, projects Cool It, Volume 1. For some reason, I kept wanting to call it Kick It, but it does have some kick it with its Cool It. That's what we say. And one thing we like about Michael Ferraro is the fact that he supports the indie comics community with energy, enthusiasm, and encouragement. We could almost be blood brothers on that line alone. Welcome to the highly regarded Michael Ferraro.
You're too kind, sir. Too kind.
Kindness is what we do. Grace, gentleness, and generosity by way of the guiding star. May we follow her gracious example always. Right then. The big 5 questions. We're going to get into this and we can't wait. We've been so looking forward to this. Who is Michael Ferraro? Tell us about your storytelling influences, your comic journey, movies, music. Give us the whole buashaka.
Okay, storytelling influences. I suppose it probably started with like Spielberg and Lucas flicks. Growing up with those, like, those are probably my first memories of really being moved and inspired by stories and characters. Then throughout my childhood, like getting into animated stuff like Transformers and Thundercats and GI Joe, um, and then getting into manga and anime a little after that. Although Voltron, as a kid, I didn't know it was anime. I only discovered that later. Um, but even video games, uh, just beat poetry, alternative rock. I'd like to find the storytelling in any medium, like many, of course. But to me, I don't really distinguish between. I none are on a higher pedestal. Uh, Storytelling is storytelling. Yeah,
Oh man, that's
I hope that
just how
makes
we
sense.
see it. That's just how we see it. Absolutely. If you could sum up the 5 pillars of storytelling, pretty much word for word what you've said there. Storytelling is storytelling. And to find that connection between continents, over the seas, and distant horizons are far away, and to empathize with our own stories and share our own stories with one another, to share that seminal spark of the souls we share in the same plane of reality. I think that's what it's all about. Us connecting with other people via stories. And we don't see anybody as more elevated than the other. We see there's 8 billion unique souls with unique stories on the planet. And that makes us feel excited, just like you, excited, you know? It's very humbling, exciting to be part of that, you know? Okay,
Dude,
then.
I have
Go
to
on.
ask you: do you have a book out, or are you working on something?
Okay, Michael, we've got a confession. Do you want to hear it? You'll be the
Yes.
first person to hear it. This is, looks left and right. What? Sorry, we're just having a word with our lawyer. Can we talk about this? We can talk about it a little bit. So, anyway, here's our Cloud Tiger. He-Man fans might recognize him. He's currently
Yes.
guarding a top secret prototype. And here it is.
Nice.
We either tonight or tomorrow night are going to do our post 5,000 follower celebratory post. We just wanted to wait until we got over 100 because sometimes the algorithm pushes you back down, and we don't want to celebrate at 4,996. We want to make sure we were absolutely above that 5K line. Now, we're not going to open a show you page right now, but these, you know, like top secret cars, all the car companies, Ford, Vauxhall, GM, all those different, they always have in these top secret garages secret designs that are covered by box and gaffer tape. Yeah, I gaffer taped or sellotaped, sticky taped a white card front and back. Yeah, and we would say we're going to reveal the first page either tonight or tomorrow night. It's a prototype.
Oh, right.
It's a prototype. Okay, here's the story. 3 years ago, during the Darkness Wars, somebody asked us, "Can you do a comic in 1 month?" And because we've been to a local convention at a local town, and we saw the setup. I thought, crikey, we'd like to come here ourselves one day, you know, all in our imaginary dreams. And then our business mentor at the time said, "Can you swing for that fence in 4 weeks?" And we thought, all right, then let's give it a go. And in 4 weeks, we produced our comic and got the printing sorted out during a week. With Mixum, they did a Herculean 5 days turnaround on the print and got it returned to us by the Friday, just in time for us to unbox it with our guiding star. And it was a great moment it turned out to be a Pyrrhic victory, but it was a moment of triumph when you can share opening a box of 100 comics. That's what we thought we might be able to sell. Maybe 25 one convention weekend, then the next weekend 25, and then each week for 4 weeks you get 100 sold. Yeah, and that was our test print run. The box is over there with Mixon. Tell you what, we'll bring the box over because somebody will be calling us out saying, "Azrael, you're full of it. There ain't no box over there. Let's find out, shall we?
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. Let's go for the box, man. We're going to bring the box over just to prove it.
Nice.
Heave! Heave!
I'm so envious.
There we go. Check it out.
Nice.
I'll tell you what, mix them. Do a
Exciting.
great job. We can't even open the box because it's got classified stuff in it, but there you go. So, yes, there's actually a box.
How exciting is that, man?
Well, it is, but unfortunately, we had to make some minor changes, want to get stuff trademarked, and then we kind of got sidetracked because the guidance star got ill, and basically 3/4 of a year later, she was gone. So we thought,
so you're the writer?
writer, artist, producer. Apparently, we speak like a producer, according to some of our DMs. But yes, we do the whole thing, lettering the lot. We've got a color version, we've got a black and white version. We want to do the noir version first, and yeah. So when the guiding star went to heaven, we kind of thought we felt very comfortably numb, if you know what that song is by Pink Floyd, and we
Oh hell yeah.
We thought our business mentor, our second business mentor, this one a female, came out in the mist while we were glued to the sofa, because after you lose somebody who gave you oxygen and the air you breathe, you think you kind of start watching those kind of programs about people living off grid, and that's all you're doing every day for about 3 months. And Sarah Grocott, shout out to you, got us going again. She was our newly appointed business mentor, and she has got hyper energy. She's got great energy, a bit like you, Michael. She's got a lot of energy, a lot of give to the community, gets people going, cares about people like you yourself do. You're a very compassionate guy. I've seen that in your community posts. And then we got into social media. We had a little practice on XDM chat, and I thought, okay. Then we met Dave Star Million. You know about Star Million and the Orium Saga, yeah?
Oh, great guy.
Great guy. Positive energy. We met about the same time, and we were all over Orium like a rash. And then we were showing what he did with the positivity, and we thought we'll do that as well. That's obviously our purpose: grace, gentleness, and generosity. If we can actually, we don't know how long it's going to take, we thought, but we're going to help other people before we help ourselves. And so we decided to put this on the back burner until we earned the right, until we were humble, until we had that grace. And we'll show the first page either tonight or tomorrow night, and wait for the words to come from the great ether. We take our lead from the noir ether, and the gods roll the dice and send us the words. Occasionally we just put a hand up and they give us what needs to be said. You don't think we're in charge of what we say?
I'm so stoked, man. Like, I'm so glad to be on the show today, knowing that the first page is going to be shown tonight or tomorrow. That's awesome, man.
Yeah, you've got the skin in that. You've got an exclusive there, Michael. Right, let's get this back to you. So yeah, that was it was a rough time, but on this show we prefer to listen, and there's a lot for you to say about this book, because this book is drop dead gorgeous. So we know you're a compassionate, giving guy in the community, and you finally got around to doing your own first comic book, indie comic book, as we like to call them. So let's talk about that then. What does Michael Ferraro create? Elevator pitch, convention table pitch. If Azrael was to fly over the Atlantic and land just in front of your convention table, how would you describe Kool It?
If you take classic fighting stories like Rocky and the Karate Kid, and even fighting games like Street Fighter, and mix it with like that kind of neo or really 80s like gross out humor, satirical Mad Magazine, Garbage Pail Kids, plus like the kind of subversive 90s movies like Tarantino flicks and early Kevin Smith and alternative rock, and put it all in a blender, like this book is what will come out.
You ever seen Chasing Amy?
Yeah, of course.
It's a great movie that I won't go into, but it's a lovely one. Written by Kevin Smith, was it? Yeah.
Yeah, written and
That's,
directed. Yeah.
we like your counterculture vibes. You get that almost kitchen sink, as we call it in Britain, kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Just underneath the mainstream, so it's got that bit of edge to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you've got very. Do you know what's that? Carmen America kind of positivity, zingy, vibrant, saturated colours. You know what I mean?
I
It's almost
just
like a mainstream look with a kind of almost counterculture influences.
I just got into Common America a couple months ago. I've read a couple volumes. Really love like you said, the colors, their the way they draw the ladies, really cool. And I only discovered after that that at least some of those guys are Catholic, and I was raised Catholic, and I, my comic not as much as theirs, but there is a element underneath of that as well. My main character, the twins, the main characters, they were similarly raised Catholic, and I I like the idea that that's going to be underneath. I don't want to beat anyone over the head with politics or religion, but I like the subtext.
I think Stan Lee was, I think probably Jack Kirby, actually, the king, the real king of Marvel, or as we call it, the Jack Kirby universe.
Yeah.
I think heroes having feet of clay. So what the author believes is in the soil and the ground beneath, and let the reader make their own mind up. You know what I mean? And we can get the vibe of what each
Yeah.
character is, but then each character can be their own human being. And I think that's the best thing you can do. Is rather than having an ABC comic, you have an ACE comic, and let the readers fill in the B and the D for themselves, giving your readers credit for having their own
Ah,
mind
I
and their
love
own
that.
thoughts. You know?
I love
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Peter
That's a
Clay.
great way to
Peter,
put it.
yeah, and you've got that Carmen America vibe, but that counterculture going, and you know, it's like, yeah, let's. Do you know that little quote at the bottom there? Are you going to read it in a movie voice, or am I going to do the movie voice? Come on, Michael, do the movie voice.
Oh, you, of course, me being a Yankee, you've got that dope British voice, so you should be the one to do it.
Let's do it then. Cool It, Volume 1. A gnarly but inspiring fighting story set in a neo 80s 90s New Jersey with robots and witches.
Yeah, nice.
Oh, yeah. Now, we've got a trailer.
Should have
I
had you
think.
narrate my trailer.
Well, there's always next time, Michael. We'll have to see about that. We didn't realise that a
Yeah,
British
yeah.
movie trailer accent would be so popular. Well, you never know. We might be able to. That might be our calling, along with doing indie comics and a nice sideline hustle. Maybe make us a millionaire. Right, here we go then, folks.
Exactly.
Add that to the stage if I can. Oh, I've got to remove the presentation from the stage. I always forget this bit. Bring this on. Let's do it. I need to go to the next tab. Press play. tell you what, that is what you call amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I'll tell you what,
Dude,
Michael,
thank you so
that
much.
is
Dude, give me
that
one
is a
second. I had to grab my charger.
no bother, no
Give me
bother.
1 second. I'm sorry.
No, no, we're gonna play. We're gonna play that again because we like it so much.
Nice. All right. Sorry about that.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna play your trail again. We like it that much. Here we go. Let's get into it. Bit of a head hanging and a bit of air guitar, Michael. Let's get in there. Tell you what, that is absolutely glorious.
Thank
That
you
is
so much.
that is a flagship indie comic trailer. That's one of the best we've ever seen. It's pure
Oh, dude.
dynamite, folks. Absolutely dynamite.
Thank you.
Wow.
Dude.
Who did your trailer for you?
There's a guy, he goes by like good stuff. He's in the space. Him and his wife, it was really cool. I backed like last year, they made a indie cookbook. And I'm looking forward to reviewing that and like making a recipe. But yeah, he makes trailers for people in the space, and I always enjoyed seeing them. So I'm like, let me reach out to him, and he did such a great job. And he's very affordable and very patient because I kept going back and forth and with ideas and changing things around, and he was like super gracious and patient with me.
I'll tell you what, that can go a long way. We find in life grace, being gracious, you know,
Yeah,
being humble, humility, and those qualities will always take you far. It's the same old thing, isn't it? Treat other people how you yourself want to be treated. And if that respect word which comes through grace, it makes a big difference.
dude, that's why I kept putting off launching my comic and was like hyper focused on supporting and reviewing other people's indie comics because it, that is the only thing that makes sense to me. How can I expect people to give my comic a shot if I'm not giving theirs a shot? And like, you know, I never expect uh one to one reciprocation or 100% reciprocation. People have different tastes, different styles, but I'm happy that yeah, that I could spend that time uh, supporting as many people as I can. And of course, I'm going to continue after this campaign. I can't wait to get back to reviews.
Yeah. Tell you what, you've mastered reviews. You and Battle General Crenshaw are the two flagship bearers of reviews on the indie comic scene, as far as we're concerned.
That's
Crenshaw can
great.
nail it in a minute, and you've got your own style. Give it a lot of energy. You're very attentive when you do your reviews. You give people that you really lean in with your shoulders and tell it from your point of view. And we like you that you give that care and consideration. And the answer you just gave regarding how can I expect other people to invest in me if I don't show the grace to take an interest in them, to review the books, to be curious, to
Yeah,
give. It's sharing, caring, isn't it? In order to receive, you have to first learn to have the humility to give.
exactly.
That's a beautiful, beautiful philosophy you have, Michael. And that's why you're highly
Yeah,
regarded in the indie comic community, sir. People can see that you're nice, you're a giver, not a taker. Absolutely brilliant. Oh, wait a minute, what have we
thank
got
you.
here? That Crenshaw. I've been slacking on them review videos. The ones you've done, Master Crenshaw, are absolutely. You've got the Richard Burton voice of reviews, and you nail it
Yeah,
in a minute. And you nail it in a minute. Great voice. You nail it in a minute, and we've kind of thought, ABC, I've got it. You put it across very well, Crenshaw.
yeah,
Keep
he's
them coming
great.
though. In time, he's great at those. Yes, we
Yeah,
love his reviews. Love the reviews. Type that in, Crenshaw. Test my live chat typing. There we go. Right then, here we go. This cover, tell us about it. Wonder if we know anybody, Akira Backslide Screecher, who might have done some previous elegant work for the Phoenix Studios. Who's this certain artist that we both like? A picture of elegant she is.
yeah. She like I couldn't believe like I can't even remember when we first started following each other, but I saw her sketches, and as someone who clearly has an affinity for beautiful female characters, I was like totally blown away by her style. And I knew she did stuff for people in the space, and it has to be because she's pretty low key and she seems very family oriented. She recently had a baby. I think that's the only reason she's not way bigger than she is. And because she clearly deserves to be. I think it's also because she doesn't have her own book yet. I think once she does, stratosphere. So
Yes,
I was like,
yes,
I can't believe this. Like, she's accessible, and she seems to me to be the perfect person to do my ha- draw my characters.
yeah.
So when she agreed to do the cover, it was like the most amazing feeling. I was so nervous when I asked her that she might not be interested or too busy. So yeah, couldn't be more stoked.
Yeah, I tell you what, she has just, I mean, it's just got that elegance. I remember just like your good self, her sketches appearing in her X feed. Was it 2.5 years when we started our X journey and met Star Million and that? And she was one of the first females that we followed. Just loved her style. You know what I mean? Just a great, great style. And
Yeah,
she's surprising amount of work in the indie comics community. When we were doing a Saturday follower kind of post on her, not this Saturday just gone, but the Saturday before, we
yeah,
were just how much work she's done interacting with the community. You know what I mean? Comics, comic covers, our own stuff, and that. And we think like you. She's not far off 1,000 followers now. When she gets her own book, I think she will take off.
yeah. Yeah, I've seen like pretty
Go on.
big comic publishers take notice of her. I think Mad Cow was one. There was a couple, and I was
Yeah,
like, yeah, only a matter of time.
matter of time. All right, then we've got some of your preview pages from your uh, Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign here, Michael. Tell us what's happening on this page.
Okay, so this is a great opportunity to emphasize like I know people certainly in certain spaces are apprehensive about like what would look like a girl boss character. My main character Zoe is not a girl boss. She is smart, she's strong, but in this case, okay, so she has to fight in this like big all-encompassing fighting tournament for prize money. So if
Got
she faces dudes, she has to like experiment and find a way how to compete. So one of the first competitions is arm wrestling, and she comes up with a concoction and injects her arm to like enlarge it. So because the champ is this huge beast of a guy with like giant mitts, and it was kind of a storytelling thing where I'm like, okay, if she's gonna face him, how is her hand possibly gonna wrap around his hand for arm wrestling? So I just loved coming up with this solution because it really brings the gnarliness that I'm like looking for, but like in a fun way. Like the book's not like hyper violent. It's more like fun, like 80s kind of, yeah, like
In
that
a
kind
Jack
of
Kirby
like,
action kind of way, more action than violence.
yeah, like yeah, it's probably a little edgier than that, but like anyone who's concerned about it being too over the top, like not really. Just little instances of like, again, opportunities to have that kind of like gross out, but also like inspired by manga like Akira and stuff like that. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely. I'll tell you what, let's go on with the next slide and talk about that arm. I tell you what, reminds us of that time when we slept on our arm, but we won't go into that. This is an absolute so family show. We're just we love this metamorphosis. It's Steve Rogers, Captain America, isn't it? And the super serum,
Yeah.
and you've got success, and that payoff with the killer panel of her arm looking mega huge. We
Yeah.
couldn't stop staring at it. It was great. Tell us about this transformation then.
Yeah. So, like I said, I wanted a way that she could, because it's like during the tournament, she starts at normal and she's facing mostly girls. But when it gets to the champ, she realizes, yeah, like how am I gonna like fit my hand in here? Another thing of note about my story, I'm doing enough to create rules and have some like realistic sci-fi elements, but for the most part, it's really like a wacky. I mentioned Street Fighter earlier. Like in Street Fighter, Ken and Ryu and these characters do fireballs like Hadoukens. They never really explain how they're doing that, and
Yeah,
my comic does that as well. There's certain things that like I just wouldn't even want to explain because I fun. My philosophy is fun first.
absolutely.
I'm not really a storyteller that is very detail oriented or like I was just on uh this guy Mad Ruth's show Friday night, and he's got a sci-fi comic called Soul Tack, and it's so awesomely dense with like military details and sci-fi details, and I'm it's very impressive, but that's not where my mind goes. I always think of like what's the most entertaining way to solve this problem or express a scenario.
Like suspension of disbelief, just
Yes,
work with the author here. You know what I mean? Enjoy it for what it is.
exactly. Yeah, big time
Like
with
that. We
yeah.
relate to that. We relate to it. You don't need to explain everything. I think we are here at the Five Pillars of Storytelling. We sometimes think that movies kind of explain everything too much. If you go to those Marvel Jack Kirby universe comics of the '60s, we all know that a nuclear bomb doesn't make you into the Hulk. We don't care about that. That's the Hulk's origin, and we enjoy it for that. We just suspension of disbelief. We just enjoy it for what it is.
Dude, one of the worst things like that. I'm a huge Star Wars guy, just my whole
Go on,
life. And what's that?
go on. Tell us. We're listening. We
Yeah,
like Star
so
Wars. We love it.
when the prequels came out and Lucas introduced the concept of midichlorians, I hated that so much. He completely demystified the Force. It was fine the way you didn't have to include that to explain, you know what I mean? Like
It was magic. It didn't have to be science.
Exactly.
Absolutely. We 100% hear you on that one. To me, looking back at A New Hope, the Force was this nebulous, dark magic. Could be a good magic, could be dark magic, depending on whether Kenobi or Vader is wielding this mysterious force. Once you start explaining everything, then sometimes you run the risk of something losing its mystique and its charm.
Exactly. Yeah. So I still like the movies and I go with it. I'm kind of someone who, even if I have complaints about canon, I still accept it. It's the creator's vision, but I would have preferred he kept it more mystical.
Mystical is the way to go. We believe that, yeah, some things are science. Some things definitely fit the mystique mold, the mystical magic mold better. And then you have things that are divine, that even greater than that. So we're here, we're with you 100% in lockstep with that one, Michael. What's your favorite Star Wars movie before we talk about this page?
I'm probably gonna sound like normie, but The Empire Strikes Back, yeah.
Dark Symphony, the jewel in the Lucas crown.
Yeah.
And although it's a family show, we're going to ask you a Princess Leia question. Slave girl outfit or Hoth?
Or the Hoth outfit?
Yeah, the white one.
Oh man, I have where'd she oh wait. She's around here somewhere. I have the figure with her in that Hoth outfit. That is a very good question. Man.
We can take a
Um
moment to reflect on this, Michael. Let's not rush it. This is a special
I
moment for us.
no, I think I'm gonna go with the Hoth outfit, yeah.
You truly are a blood brother, born of Pax. All we need now is to and press the hands, and we're right there in lockstep. Yes, it's
Nice.
Hoth for us in slow motion, each time, every time. Right, then tell us, moving swiftly on before we get arrested in this country. If things been like what they are in Britain at the minute, we don't want to be too
I've
passionate.
heard.
Yeah, we don't be too passionate. We don't talk about sex, politics, and religion on this show. So anyway, tell us about this lovely white spiders Chimera Cove preview page.
Okay,
Delicious
so
art.
they are the main enemies of my main character and the other characters. They are heavily inspired by Cobra Kai from Karate Kid,
Yep.
mixed with the Lost Boys,
What's
the
boys?
Warriors.
Warriors
Um,
as well. You are getting very counterculture. Keep going.
yeah, like I I just envision them as like a blend of those things. They're a dojo, but they're also a gang, and they, speaking of dark magic, they're witches. They practice dark magic, and one of the themes of the overall story is science versus magic. And my main character Zoe is a scientist, so anything she does to train or fight, she wants to do it scientifically, or. And the spiders use magic. I have rules set up in the tournaments where either the magic is limited or they can't use it, but given that they're bad, they try to sneak it in, and um they're they're pretty bad. This book is, I wouldn't say it's family friendly. It's not like super adult. So, let me put it this way: like, they're very much like Cobra Kai, but these girls murder, unlike Cobra
Whoa.
Kai.
Go on.
Yeah. So it they are, they're nothing to mess with. Like, if you mess with them, there's going to be problems. So my main character Zoe has her work cut out for her for sure.
I'll tell you what, you have got some lovely movie influences in there with the counterculture, Warriors and stuff like that, Street Fighter, Karate Kid. It's all in there, isn't it? You know, to me, and the idea of dojos and magic and the whole magic and science. You could have perhaps the mages looking down on science with a bit of inverted snobbery, which would be quite interesting. Be interesting to see how they view one another in terms of science versus magic. You know what I mean? In terms of
Yeah.
philosophy. I tell you what,
Yeah.
that page looks gorgeous. Right
Thank you
then,
so much. I worked
hey,
really hard on that composition. Was thinking back now that you mention it, it
go
was
on.
very hard. Yeah,
Tell
like
us
just
what goes through your head when you create.
yeah. So in the Lost Boys, that movie, the opening scene, they're kind of coming. They're on a carousel, and they're like the cameras,
Mm,
following them walking around. Yeah.
mm.
So yeah, I wanted their first kind of group appearance to kind of pay homage to that. But having one walking and one kind of sitting down, it was very hard to compose. But I was pretty happy with how it came out.
I tell you what, not an easy thing to do a carousel, and you've
No,
nailed it there. You know, it's that's a challenging. If we were to think about drawing that, we'd think that would take some time for us to wrap our head around it compositionally. Who's going to be
yes,
where? Who's going to be next to the ride? Who's going to be coming around the back of the ride? You know what I mean? And all the craziness and
exactly.
fun that you've got to capture in the carnival ride. There's a sense of fun and colour and vibrancy, and you've absolutely nailed it to the cross on this one.
Thank you. That means so much, man.
Absolutely. I mean, I tell you what, I'm not sure who the character's name is with the webbing on, and she's got the hood and the white hair with the little purple gradient. And you know, you've got corsets, you've got trainers with laces. I mean, that's a lot of detail. But does she have a name, or is that a spoiler?
Oh no, no, her name is Valeria Vega. Val Vega. Yeah.
Val
She's
Vega.
um
Wow.
she's she's Mexican, and on the good side, that colorful haired girl, Mika, is also Mexican. Just I that's kind of coincidence. I really just wanted one of the spiders to have that Day of the Dead makeup, and Day of the Dead is like a Mexican thing, so yeah,
Yeah, it is, isn't it? They have those sort of Mexican Day of the Dead style masks, don't they? And they've each got their own style, but within that style, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I tell you what, that's again drawing on culture, not just cinematic culture and counterculture, but also cosmopolitan culture in terms of different countries. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, White Spiders, cool name. Chimera Cove. You've even got the kind of carnival ride. It's got a cool, snappy name. I like your use. We like use of alliteration. You know,
Oh,
Balvega,
dude,
Chimera Cove, very witty.
I that's total Stan Lee. Like I, yeah, most of my characters have that alliteration. Um, the character that's kind of based on me in my 20s as an idiot, Zoe's twin brother Mikey. Like her name's Zoe Zamo, so he had to be Mikey Zamo. So I couldn't do the alliterative thing there, but most of the time I try to.
That's what we like, Michael. Stuff like that makes us smile. It's nice to, after 2.5 months, which we won't go into. It's nice to actually break a smile now and again. And obviously, speaking with somebody who's got a great seminal spark like yourself, it's hard not to be infectiously contaminated with your enthusiasm. We like your energy. Put it that way. That is
Awesome.
that is just visual. Oh, what do you call it? Visual glitter. Beautiful. Now,
Awesome.
apparently, you can pair the comic with a mini pin-up art book. We like the idea of this art book. It's merch, and we think that the one area indie comics could do better is merch. To be t-shirts, but we like the fact that you've come up with a mini pin-up art book. We love that, and
Yeah.
tell you what, we'll be quiet. You tell us about it, please. Blazing
So that
Babe.
was partly inspired by I'm assuming you're familiar with Pete Sametti, Alterna
Yeah,
Comics?
yeah, Pete Smet. Yeah, a ton of comics. What we call him the horse whisperer of indie comics. 19 to 20 years and counting.
Yeah.
Governor
Very, very impressive.
and
So
humble.
yeah, yeah, like another great guy, very low key, but very smart. And he had launched campaign not long ago for they're going to start doing printings for other creators. Yeah. So I contributed to that, got a voucher, and at the time I was just like, I want to do whatever on newsprint. That's so cool. Obviously makes it more affordable, but it's still quality and it has that retro feel, which is probably the most important thing to me. So I was like, okay, what I could do, since I have so many sketches of pinups, because like most of the times I do a comic review, I will try to do the female characters because that's what I enjoy drawing, and people seem to enjoy my ladies. So I was like, let me clean those up and compile them into like an art book. So there'll be, I think, around 48 pages, and that's because I think the max of Peter's print uh, uh, deals is jobs is 48 pages. So I was like, okay, like I'll create some new ones. But I'm like I said, I'm glad I have like a jump start on the book because I'm just like cleaning up sketches and they'll be uh looking even better in the art book.
I'll tell you what we think of as comics, look, the feel, the smell of it in our hands, it's newsprint, isn't it?
Yes.
It's been the backs, the kind of backs to paper and digital print on demand, and it's been different for a while, probably a decade or two, but still in our head, it's still newsprint on newsstands or at the
Yeah.
local shop and looking through comics that were 25 pence. Been a while since they were 25 pence each, folks.
Dude, those were the days, man.
Those were the days, man. But I think Pete Samiti and Luke Stone on his crowdfunding platform with 1% fees, they've almost become the twin towers, a crowdfunding platform for indie comics. I remember speaking to Pete Samiti about this. I said, why haven't you done your own print? Why aren't you doing your own print? He says, it's too expensive. And we said, well, we sent him a DM. I said, you got to look at this. This is how other companies charging for print on demand. Why can't you match it? And eventually he looked into it and realized the costs of getting the machine he needed could be met by a crowdfunder. And it's just having those conversations before you know it. Print runs of 1 to 200, a page run of 1 to 48 for your pinup book are then suddenly possible. And somebody challenged him, said, you'll not be able to put them flat. He said, I can make a comic sit flat and not bowed. And that he had a
Yeah.
slight bit of a disagreement with somebody. I'll tell you what, he's a man of his word. I mean, he knows his printing. But even some of his ideas were a little bit out of lockstep. Then suddenly he looked into it and thought, I can do this. That was the missing piece for Pete Sameti and Alterna Comics. Now he's got the whole widget, the whole kahuna, and we wish him luck. And like yourself, we'd love to maybe do a print version of our comic when we get up and running, Michael.
Dude,
So,
that's
Michael,
so cool that yeah, like it's so awesome that you had suggested those ideas and that you were thinking or had that information. And yeah, man, just like uh seeds planted, man, and like just we all benefit.
we all benefit. Seeds planting, just that conversation, you know, it's just sharing. And then if the seed grows, it grows, that's exactly
Yeah.
the way we want it, man. Now it says, including but not limited to spicy green cows. I'll tell you what, it'd be such a shame if it was 48 pages of green skinned ladies. Yvonne Craig in Star Trek, that time that She-Hulk came, knocked on our door, and we didn't mean it to say that Power Girl would knock She-Hulk out of the orbit. We misspoke, and we just said, Jen, Power Girl, she's just a friend, just an acquaintance. We swear to God, she means nothing to us. So anyway, we're glad that you've included some green and blue skin ladies in there, just
Yes.
to well, we'll keep it family friendly, but we'll just say that we are most pleased by your inclusion of them.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
it's not going to be. It won't be
too sweet.
too spicy. There won't be other bits shown, but sexy enough.
Excellent. Who is the Blazing Babe? Is she one of your wrestling contenders?
It's funny you say that because she is like the the girl that is um on the good side. She's how can I explain this quickly? Like, so Gnarly Science is the lab slash like smoke shop that Zoe runs, and that's Mika. She's like a California stoner girl who's the receptionist, but she's always like passed out on the couch. Like she
Got you.
spends like most of the time on the couch, except when Zoe needs her to fight in her drunken style.
Yes. I'll tell you what. Are you seriously going to, if we back a book, obviously for the paper copy, we should imagine, you get a sketch of a sexy babe of your choice by Michael Ferraro?
Yes, yeah. Any again, I prefer drawing females. I mean, I obviously will draw dudes, but for something like this, I would just like, all right, I'm just going to eliminate the option of male heroes, and if you have a favorite female hero, I will gladly sketch her. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that's an impressive perk to have, isn't it? Absolutely impressive. I'll tell you what,
Thanks.
Michael, the work just zings, it vibrates, it's Andy. Let's do it. We can close our eyes. Give it to us, Noir Ether. It's Andy Warhol meets Mark Bolan of 70s glam rock. That's what it
Nice.
is. Oh
Dude,
yes.
my pops brought me up on those exact things.
Do you like T-Rex then and Mark Bolan, 20th Century Boy and all that business, and Children of the
Oh, hell
Revolution?
yeah.
We almost would
Hell yeah.
have you down as Indie Comics' own Mark Bolan.
Oh, I can
Compliment.
only wish to live up to that.
I tell you what, he could play. He only knew 7 chords, but boy, could he play them.
What's that?
Mark Bolan, he only knew 7 chords for his guitar, but boy, could he play them. Very tuneful
Yeah,
guy.
that's the for
Selling it,
sure.
charisma, you know?
Exactly. It goes a long way.
It goes a lot. It's how you sell it. And that's what we like about you in the community. You sell it. And, you know, and
Trying.
you do it with an open heart. And that's most important. You don't expect anything back, like for like. You do it with an open heart. And that's why this moment is coming to you from the universe. Yeah?
Oh, dude, that means a lot.
We can only say it as we see it. Now, here, free digital copy with every physical book. Some don't, but you do. Extra value. So if you're out on your phone, out on your tablet, or you're on holiday and you've got a laptop, you don't have to take your comic collection with you. You can just read it. Tell us about this.
This is total. I was telling Katie last night, K-pop Katie, totally inspired by her. There was a point like last year, at least, and before that, where I was really down. I just felt everything physical. I want people to have the physical copy in their hands. That's what I prefer. But she started to make the case that, I mean, one of the obvious things is for overseas people, international shipping, that's a better option depending on where you are.
GB.
There you go. So there's that. And then, like, I know she wears glasses. She talks about how over time, like, she was like straining to read some of the physical copies that she would receive. And I've never hated digital comics. The weird thing is, along the digital revolution going from the 90s into the 2000s, I thought digital comics were one of the better innovations or whatever, because it was so cool to see that beautiful art on that backlit screen. You could zoom in, and yeah, if word balloons or text is a little too small, that eliminates that problem.
You can just zoom in, can't you? To your heart's content.
Exactly.
Well, let's run some numbers to back what Katie's right, by the way. Women are often right. Sometimes they have, what's that thing that sometimes those guys don't have? Was it common sense? And I tell you what, Killer Queen, K-pop, you're right in this one. Let's run some numbers. 10 digital comics at £5.50. Let's go for 100 digital comics at £5. What's that? That's 500. 1,000 times £5. Do you see what we're going with? Don't have to crucify the punters with shipping. For the people who need to zoom in a bit more, can see it. It can be on my phone, it can be on my tablet, it can be on my web page, it can be on my laptop, my desktop computer, it can be anywhere. Now, obviously,
Exactly.
Peter Sametti and myself, when he was on stream with us, we spent a good 3 hours torturing him, and we spent 5 minutes alone just talking about sniffing comics, man.
That's awesome. I gotta watch that.
And it's legal. In the end, he to escape, he needed a big glass window and a lawyer, I think, from The Simpsons to get out. But seriously, he was a great guest and so gracious. I mean, we would just spent such a long time talking about business cases and rolling the numbers. And the comic, it feels in your hand. Print media is newsprint is that timeless Bronze Era feel, isn't it? People pay tens of thousands for golden, silver, and bronze era comics that are of that newsprint and chemical chaos. But it's, oh man, just smell it. The smell alone is intoxicating. Anyway, we'll stop though on the smelling thing, the sniffing thing. But tell us, what is it about the smell of comics that appeals to you, Michael? Be careful, we're leading you into a rabbit hole here.
Dude, it's funny because, like, I think back to being a kid. Like, I remember getting cassette tapes of like heavy metal bands, and like those smelled awesome sometimes. Sometimes it smelled like bubble gum for some reason. So yeah, cards probably because they came with gum. But yeah, I'm all about those nostalgic scents for sure.
Okay, question we actually missed out earlier, but I think it's a Brian Toledo, Chaos Lady, during the Great Darkness Wars, open brackets, close brackets, lockdown. He did some YouTube seminars, and he said one thing to get in your head as your business plan. We have in our mind a heavy metal band. This is who we are when we're out selling at conventions, when we're doing our website, when we're meet and greeting, when we're even if we're on social media, we've got this band playing. Let's say, I can't remember, but let's say it's Metallica. What would be your rock metal band in your head? We think, I'm at this convention, I'm really selling this comic. Who am I as a kind of type of music or band?
Oh man. I'm just gonna go with the first one that popped in my head, which is Motley Crue. That was
Got
my
you.
first concert. So if I had more time, I could have so many other choices, but they were the first ones that popped in, so I'll go with them.
That's it. That's what we want to hear. And if you've got a favorite song, hit us with it in our DMs later. We'd like to play that song.
Oh yeah.
Right then. I tell you what, we had to include this page as well. Who's going to read this page in movie voice?
Oh, dude, I would pay you to read it with your awesome British voice, man. You kidding me?
Well, Michael, seeing as you paid us a fair compliment, we'll try to do our humble best to pay homage to your lovely page. And we thought it's got lettering on it. We've got to do it, man. You're dead meat. And there we've got a kind of glowering eye met by a pensive, intriguing, alluring pink glare. And let's see if we can read this bit. Salt. Wait a minute, we're going to zoom into this bit. You got to zoom into this artwork. Salt water trophy. Sounds intriguing. I think we'd pay to go on that ride.
You're reading
the Lucky Leo, our star sign, Michael. Lucky Leo. Wouldn't mind going to that place. Wonder if they sell Guinness there. Chill, chick. Chill, baby. Remember, sense-sized words, patience, and persistence are perhaps the most powerful weapons in the spider's arsenal. Spiders are not quick to snuff out. Spiders savor.
Nice. That's awesome.
What a page. I tell you what, you've got 3 speech bubbles on it, but they hit home like a pancake with lots of sugar and lashings of salted butter on.
I love that, man.
Right,
That's awesome.
next. We also like this. When we pulled it across to our slideshow, it went transparent in the background, so we dropped in a white square behind it, and we just love this phrase. That's illegal. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
like I said, the spiders will cheat as much as they can at any opportunity. So yeah,
there you go, folks. Cool it. We'll tear your arm off.
yeah, man, yeah, yes, they will tear your arm off if given the opportunity for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got an indie comic here, folks. That will absolutely tear your arm off. I tell you what, we're gonna have to
Yeah.
promo that later on our
Oh, dude, yeah, that's a
our
great
first showcase.
tagline, man. I
That's
should have
great. Yeah.
hired you.
I tell you what, we've given out so many juicy taglines for free over the years. We just like being we just pull the hand up to the great noir ether, pull it down, and we give it. Hey, it's all about being personal, like you do with the reviews. Try and make it personal to each person. Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
use it,
illegal.
but I'll credit you.
You're gonna use it and credit us. We like your style. Hey, what's we call that? Back scratching. Oh man. Love that page.
Exactly.
How about we just, as gentlemen, as guys, how about we just linger on that artwork just for a little while and appreciate it? Uh, One moment, folks. We're going to watch this in the future. We'll just appreciate.
Yeah, there's on Katie's show last night, there was a lot of talk about orbs, and they had mentioned orbs on her shows before.
Go on.
Only last night did I realize they were talking about breasts.
Ah, I see. The old orbs thing. I see, folks. We're talking about orbs. I see.
Orbs.
Fortunately, in Britain, they aren't illegal yet.
Yeah,
Oh, the way
not
things
yet.
are going, you don't know, man. Just saying.
Depends who
Yes.
takes
So,
over, I guess, right?
well, yeah, it depends who takes over. The new boss, same as the old boss. Tell you what, we look, because it's a family show. We promise, we say to our future viewers in the future, we're not looking at the orbs. Okay, we're just looking at that arm being torn off. You have our word on
Yes.
that.
Yes, where we are
Anyway,
looking
moving
at
swiftly on. This book will make you hungry, and we didn't put that page after the previous one on purpose. It's nothing to do with the orbs. We just thought this book will make you hungry. Tell us about this bit of artwork. It just tickled our fancy.
Oh, that's I'm so glad. So yeah, this is like the burger joint that the cast of characters hang out in. They have to have arcade cabinets, of course. Um, I grew up with old school, like golden age arcade games like Burger Time.
Favorite?
So
Which one was your favorite? Tell us.
my favorite. Again, I'm gonna sound like a normie, but probably Pac-Man, maybe Donkey Kong. I'm not sure. Yeah.
For us, we were quite into Pac-Man, Space Invaders before that. After that, Bubble Bobble. We put so
Uh,
many 10 pence pieces into this arcade machine in the Norfolk Broads in Hemsby, and it just must have shelled out £2. So about 20 games. We just got really into Bubble Bobble, and
dude, I will direct you to a sketch I did with that girl, the colorful haired girl, Mika, a Bubble Bobble related sketch. If you haven't seen it, I mean, I feel like I've reposted that on Twitter a number of times, but I'll gladly DM you it. Yeah.
Gemma's that and the Motley Crew, and just man. Hey, mate, you know what I got to do? Just a little bit of movie voice. This book will make you hungry. Dude, why are the pickles here so aggro? We just we just love that
That's
phrase.
her.
So aggro. The pickles are so aggro. That just killed us.
That's her California coming out.
So aggro. Yeah. Hey man, he's quite tickled pink as well. I wonder what game is he playing actually on there.
So he's playing Burger Crime. It's my spin on Burger Time.
Okay, got you. Love
So
that one.
she's seeing those characters on the table because she is blitzed out of her mind. The other characters don't see that.
Ah, right. She's blitzed. It's speaking in code. We get you, man. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know if it's your influence, Michael, but we're getting a big hot sheet of pink on this side of our face. The right side of it looks like
Yeah.
yeah. That's coming from our makeup light. You
Fine.
know what I mean? We thought, what color are we getting from Michael's campaign? We got pink. I thought there's a guy comfortable with pink. Pink's one of our favorite colors. We thought we've got to join Michael on the pink. Tell us about, speaking of,
That's awesome.
one thing we talk about with guests regularly is color narrative. Superman, Fantastic Four, each movie, despite being rivals, apparently, all joined together around the back, though, folks, yeah? Despite being alleged rivals, each movie has teal and mustard. It drives us crazy. It's soulless, it's flat. It's how can there be everybody wearing orange jumper day? What is it? Orange jumper day, Metropolis? You know? So
Yeah.
we notice whether it's White Owl, Mr. Master Rodriguez with his White Owl, Indie Comics own Batman, we call it. He does his own color palette and his own color grading. Yeah. Now, tell us about your color narrative. Why these colors? What's your approach to color?
Okay, so it goes back. It's somewhat ironic because I always dress in black and all that, but when it comes to like media that I enjoy, or particularly comics or animation, movies, I like some color. And there was this trend like into the 2000s where whether it was video games like Call of Duty or whatever, there was so much brown. Like me and
Yeah.
my friends referred to it as brown war. Like everything was brown war. So by the time I came around to like deciding to make a comic, a physical comic, I was like, no, I'm a child of the 80s and 90s. I need like color as much as possible. So
So it
I
ties
kind of
into
just,
retro gaming, the arcade cabinets at the time, the bright colors there. Go on, keep going.
yes. The palette I use is called like retro wave something. I can't remember exactly. I've been using it for years, and it's the only palette I use.
And you know what we also like as well? And this goes back to our love of newsprint and bronze era. You've always had a bit of modeling, because you obviously want to get light and dark, on or off, yeah, light shadow. But what we like is that a lot of your coloring is, and this is meant in, we prefer flat coloring, yeah. Crikey, our hands go on the flat pink. We prefer flat coloring. You see, the gods are speaking through us. They're channeling our humble vessel. We like your use of flat, retro, vibrant colors. And there is a bit of modeling in there, a touch of softness and gradients to just give that bit of finesse here and there. But most of the time, you've got that arcade cabinet vibrancy. So you're not into overly modeling your colors and bleaching the life out of them.
Yeah, that's so cool that you say that, man. Like, um, I there's some more details I have to add to a lot of these panels. I was kind of trying to like, I mean, dude, like I expressed at the beginning of the stream, I am so frazzled. Like, I thought I did a lot, gave myself enough time, but I think just being a newbie and like I did reach out to some people for advice how to do things, but that in itself becomes just kind of confusing where it's like, okay, this person suggested this and this person suggested that. And then it just becomes like, what do I choose to do? So I was doing my best to like get panels that I felt would represent the project, but some of them are a little unfinished. There's going to be more details added and therefore more shading and highlights and stuff.
I'll tell you what, if you offered us that now, we'd give you the cash for it, as is.
Oh, dude, that means so
That's my
much.
compliment to you right now, because sometimes yeah, you'll do what you're going to do. Yeah, to put you've got your level where on the string you're probably about there's 3/4, and you probably want to just get it to where you want it. It's your vision, right? But we look at that and think, when you see something for the first time and you fall in love with it, you think, that's what I want, and it's what do I want to say about your coloring? You're your own man. You don't have to paralyze yourself through over analysis from that person's advice and that's we feel
Yeah.
that your instincts through being helpful to the community and reviewing so many books, it seems to us that you've got a keen idea of what you want to do.
Yeah, dude, I appreciate that. Yeah, it's you also touched on something that made me think of like how I kind of have OCD. Like part of the reason it's taken me a while to launch is like I will keep waiting for this like special moment where things are how I want them, but I've had to get over that and kind of just like operate like I have like man, now I do have a deadline. Now that I've launched, I need to finish this and fulfill it so that it's oddly freeing because there's got to be
Liberating,
a
yeah,
point
freeing.
where I just stop and I'm like, okay, like this is good. Like there's not much more. See, like I don't know if it's a perfectionist thing or like you just feel like you could always improve. So I've like redone so many panels for that reason, but there's got to be a point where you just accept and you got to like get it out. Yeah.
You've got to let it go, almost stand back from it after 24 hours, give it 24 hours, get your face. Sometimes art can be like this. You're right there. And at that point, you can't see the wood for the trees. You almost need to step back, give it 24 hours and look at it afresh and go, it's fine as it is.
Exactly.
Let it go, man. Give it to the reader. It's now theirs. And they'll tell you.
Exactly.
Tell
It's
you
a
what,
lot. Yeah. Dude,
come. No,
it's just like it's, and this campaign has only reinforced the idea that there's just so much to consider. And like you said, like it's good advice to kind of just understand you're your own person, your own man, and just like trust yourself to produce what you're going to produce. Yeah.
tell you what, we've got 3 books in our mind. One is Captain Canada from that lovely guy we interviewed a while back. He's 5'7". He does a really sweet thing. He kind of got out of his chair and ran to the back. We thought, where are you going? And he's got this 8-foot life-size kind of cutout of his main character, and he's 5'7". And this Captain Canada style book that he's got is about an 8 foot, and he's got at the back of his streams selling it. It's about 200 for the big huge cardboard cutout.
That's awesome.
And
I'm envious.
well, we're thinking, you stick an 8-foot green lady behind you. We like your setup, by the way. We've watched your review streams and stuff like that on your X Space and that, and we think you've got a great setup. But could you just imagine an 8-foot cutout of any of your characters? It would just
Dude.
blow your retinas off the back of your eyes.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. Yeah. So yes, Screecher is the other book we're gonna. Irene did the 3rd cover. She's also done the 4th cover. Picture of Elegance, to be sure. That famous Kira bike slide for issue 3. We just ran out of time to back that. This time we'll get the whole 4. The 3rd book we're backing, Michael Ferraro, is yours. We love that.
Dude. I appreciate that so much, man. That's so cool.
Absolutely. Everyone counts. And how close to funding are you now?
After Katie's stream, it hit like almost 80%.
8%. Yeah. I tell you what, 80%. I tell you what, we'll give you a few shoulder ins to help you over that line. We're going to do that tonight.
Dude.
We'll give you one. Absolutely.
That means
who's
the
the creator?
world.
Hey, Michael, you give a lot. We're going to call it the power of one, and every power of one you get is going to fit to that Lego brick funding wall. We're going to help. We're going to do our bit to help get you over that line. There's you and another book we're quite passionate about, and that is Heather Veeley. She's been on our show twice. Heather Veeley's Next Evolution, and we love that book. We've got the first 2 off Global Comics. Then we saw her issue 3, and we thought, one night we're having a late night. You know what it is with the sleep, you and me on the sleep thing, and it's like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. We were thinking, do you know what? We can't not have issues 1, 2, and 3 in our hands, feeling it and smelling it. So we were the first one to back her, and that's coming to us hopefully around about Christmas time. And she's 3% of total goal funding, so we'll probably give her another lean in too.
Oh, so, I recognize that name.
Heather Veeley. Look at her. She is a very graceful guest. She's very gentle, very generous with her time. Lovely, lovely lady to speak to. And she bakes, which she only goes up in her estimation because she can bake great rock. As guys on our stomachs, So
Oh, dude.
yeah, we'll send you the link in your DM to Heather Veely and her next evolution
Yeah,
on Fund My Comic. Worth looking at. And if you want to
totally.
even cheaply, the digital version is only $1.99, not even $2 on Global Comics,
Oh,
where we first got them
yeah.
from. Yeah.
I'll
So
I'll
creative
definitely
team.
support it.
Yeah. I tell you what, just to get her over that line. So creative team then. Who's the creative team on this book then, Michael?
Uh, Besides Irene's cover, just me.
Now we've got a lot of admiration for you doing the whole thing. So you're the creative director. You are the director. You're the producer. You're the letterer. Your wardrobe. Your makeup. You're in charge getting the trailer in. Get some music in for that. Get the right person in to do your cinema. Your trailer is one of the best we've seen, by the way.
Dude,
Absolutely selling the concept to us. It's just
making my day.
pure pop. We'll call it pure pop love. It's pop music, but it's indie comic pop music. Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
that's so couldn't have put it better myself. That's awesome.
Tell you what, we like the vision in the characters and the movie influences, the counterculture. I tell you what, you're doing everything. And I tell you, we call this solopreneur, like an entrepreneur. So you're a solopreneur, you're a sole trader doing it all by yourself. And that little bit of outsourcing to Irene to give yourself uh, that cover and that trailer. But most of it, you're doing yourself. The coloring, the lettering. I mean, it's ginormous.
Dude, I appreciate that. It some of it is a matter of necessity. But at some point when I thought, even if I was gonna put the money out for an artist, realized like I think I'm the only one who would get certain expressions and feels out of the characters. That's not to say that's better than what another artist could do, but um, it's I'd rather just put in all the work. Like I'm not like a super skilled artist. It takes me a long time, but like I said, I feel like I'm the only one that could execute these characters in this way.
Michael Ferraro. Let me tell you something in my lower whispered English accent. There is only one of you. You're totally unique amongst 8 billion stars, souls on this planet. Nobody else can do this book but you. And that's why we're backing it.
Dude, that's means the world to me, man. That's so awesome.
And you get us issue one, and we're going to back it. And probably once we get drugged up and loved up on your book, it'll be a glitter initiation of pop music, counterculture. And, who doesn't want to be in the left seat of that Ferrari motoring down to issue two? There's got to have
Yeah.
to be, there's going to be, well, we'll talk about two in a little while. Now, of course, we've talked about the creativity, Michael. How about now we talk about the perks? What options are there? We've picked out three, but you can talk about others as well.
Yeah, I what didn't go too crazy. It's a first book. I just wanted the comic to be the focus, but of course, I want to offer fun combos, especially since like considering the page count, I think it's very affordable. Some people think it's crazy. So I was like, okay, let me to gain more funds, let me create combo perks and offer cards and the art book and sketches and cameos. So the perks are just a variety of things, and then just one like uh called the whole shebang, like just everything, still for a very reasonable price. Because I want people to come, like to get in the door, and like I'm happy to hopefully not like take a huge hit, but like put in the time. Like it's $50 for the whole shebang. but you're going to get a lot of stuff, and I'm happy to put the work into it.
So you're giving people a ramp, a nice accessible ramp with a digital version, international customers, you know? The amount of
Yeah.
times we've seen people not offer an international version with, shall we say, geopolitical forces favoring the big boys, yeah, on shipping, squeezing us out.
Yeah.
That the digital version circumvents that because you don't have to worry about crippling shipping. You've got the
Yeah.
paper version. Those people want to feel it and smell it. And then you've got the wham bam, the whole shebang, which has got custom art. You've got the art book. You've got, is that trading cards in there we spy?
Trading cards. Yeah.
Tell us.
Again, so scatterbrained. I wasn't even sure how Indiegogo worked. It was like a trial and error learning process. So I didn't put the trading card. There's actually going to be 5 trading cards. I hope people don't have the impression that there's only 2, but I'll try to work it where I clarify that better. Yeah.
I tell you what. I tell you what. Trading cards. What's that? What did Homer used to say about trading cards? Oh, baby. Anyway, moving swiftly on because we could save that moment for just a little while longer. I tell you
Cool.
what, you've got the whole trinity there, yeah. You're saying then the whole shebang, you're going to get a lot of quality and value from it,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
putting yourself
It's
into it. Go on.
there's some people that are like, oh, you should be charging way more. And I just firmly believe that as a newbie, I want people to get in, and I just can't justify, to my mind, overcharging as a newbie. Um,
Yeah.
so it's walking the balance of course, I wanted to fund and I want to print the book, obviously, and that requires money, but I really want it to be reasonable.
Have you heard the tale or the story or the article rather actually of 1,000 true fans?
I'm not sure.
We will DM it you, and by giving people access, first of all, a low rent, a kind of an easy ramp in, a low ramp in. You get them in, they have a taste, and then when you do a t-shirt or a leather flight jacket later on, that might be your premium merch because everybody's going to have a different size wallet. Let your customers give you their money according to their means. Give them permission
Yeah,
to be customers, and that's what you're doing here. You're giving them permission to be your customer at different price points, Michael, and we salute you for it.
dude, that's a
Mm,
great, once again, a great way to put it. You're
yeah.
obviously a writer.
Yes, you're very kind to say so. We would classify ourselves, it's very flattering to say that. We classify ourselves as a storyteller, not an Alan Moore style auteur writer. We're more like yourself. We go with the feel. Yes.
Mm.
But if we wanted to turn our hands to an auteur piece of writing, it wouldn't be out of the realms of possibility. But you're most kind, Michael. We appreciate the compliment. Now,
Oh,
here,
you're
stretch
very
goals.
welcome.
You're very gracious, sir. And we do like your style. Now, at 1.7K, tell us about the pack of Narbage Pale Kids with every book.
So, like I mentioned earlier, uh, I grew up with Garbage Pail Kids. I love satire. I love, even with superheroes. Like one of my first comics was Spider Ham. So
Mm,
it just all along the way, like I love like parodies and satire. I don't want my book to be overly. It's not a parody. It's not total satire, but certainly elements. So I thought it'd be cool to have like instead of Garbage Pail Kids, Narbage Pail Kids that are like my characters in that style. Yeah, so there'll be like 5 at least to a pack, and it'll come in that like retro wax packaging.
almost like a chibi style, fun humor satire, alternate running pocket universe alongside your
It,
book, which is edgy
yes,
counterculture.
yeah, exactly, yeah.
We like that. Hey, folks,
Awesome.
why can't we offer a chibi version of our books, which is more tongue in cheek and a kind of like an echo of what the main thing we're doing? Why can't there be a manga version? Yeah. You know what I mean? There's one or two people in the indie comics community are letting the audience decide. Do you like it as traditional fantasy, or do you want it as a manga? And see which one wins. You know, there's we've
I
we
love
don't,
that.
as you know, we don't pay too much attention to drama at the Five Pillars of Storytelling. We don't do politics or religion, and we keep the drama inside the product. Yeah, and we don't get involved in drama of the week and stuff like that. It's of little consequence to us. But the one thing um, we do pay attention to is good ideas. You know what I mean? And there's no reason why we can't have our own vision. We're not Marvel DC. It's not a blue versus red political thing. It's not that at all. Between Kate and ourselves, we've probably looked at 5,000 books. We've probably looked at 1,000, and there are probably another 1,000 that we didn't. Katie seems like she's been at this 20 years, K-pop, and it seems like she's done tens of thousands of books. She's been streaming like virtually every single day for the last 2 or 3 years. I
Crazy.
think she's probably on the horizon of doing her own book, which we managed to entice out of her in our last interview with a few weeks back when we interviewed K-pop. She said, "This is what I do," and we were like, "Wow, she can really draw." And she says,
Yeah.
I will be cut the streams down to just 3 a week, and then the rest of the time will be devoted to medium our own indie comic." And we thought, "You go, K-pop," but the person that's given to the community, and they're thinking, right, I'm at the point now where I'm comfortable to go.
Yeah, I want her to benefit from everything she's done for the community. Like she it there's a lot of people that deserve that, but to my mind, like she is unassailable. Like I, I am just super impressed by what she has done and continues to do. I mean, again, my internet's not great. I don't know what happened last Sunday. It was just shot. So my appearance was with her. We couldn't do it. We
Yeah.
rescheduled for Wednesday. Indiegogo is down.
All
I
right.
couldn't believe it. So last night I was so nervous that my internet would be bad. Thankfully, it was okay, and I was so thrilled to do the show. But she was so gracious to squeeze me in because, like you just said, you know how packed her schedule is. So
She
I love
we
her, man. She's awesome.
She is awesome, and we can appreciate the love from what we're hearing there. And I tell you what, 20 years in streaming, guests are booked 3 months in advance, and we thought, bow to the master. In fact, she was the winner of our and John's long box as well for his community award. If he's the yang, then she's the ying, and you know what?
Yeah.
We gave her the 2024 Female Podcast Award from the Five Pillars of Storytelling, just because she's just what a giver, such grace, as you say, you know.
Yeah.
Now, Michael, at 2K, every cover will be. Tell us about it. We're feeling a bit of a passion coming on here.
Yeah, dude, this is my just personal like I want this so bad for myself. Like I would love to hold Irene's cover with I say here holographic foil. Again, I wanted to get the point across so I could launch. Um there's a couple options I've seen: holographic foil, chromium. Whatever I decide to do, it's I want it to be beautiful and shiny and have those colors and her designs pop. So yeah, like so I really hope we can get to this goal eventually because I love the idea of everyone getting that essentially foil cover, however I decide to do it. Yeah.
Holographic, colors, rainbow, arcade machines, Michael Ferraro, retro color palette. Amen.
Yeah.
Love it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, baby. That's exactly what we want. Holographic rainbows. Hmm.
Oh yeah.
And as we Brits say, only smarties have the answer. Right then, moving swiftly on. They're like little like M&Ms, but the British version. Right then, will I like Cool It? Who's it for, Michael Ferraro? Who's your target
See,
audience?
from my perspective, this is pretty easy. Like, if you like fun 80s inspired stuff, and if we have learned anything from the success of Stranger Things, people do love that and have a craving for that, essentially. Uh, but particularly, like, if you like fighting stories like Rocky, Karate Kid, uh, which again, to me, are so universal that um in that aspect, I feel like it's for a broad audience. I feel like most people will get something out of it. They might like certain aspects more than others. Maybe they'll find some of the gross out stuff weird or whatever, but at its core, another way to put it is like it's I'm trying to be like creative and weird, but the story's gonna have a lot of heart. Particularly volume two. This is the first time I've written something like where I had the ending pretty early on.
Yeah.
So then the writing journey has been one of those where I'm just getting to the it's been fun getting to the destination. But I am so proud of the end. Like uh to me it has so much heart and it means so much. So I can't wait for people to get to that. Yeah.
I'll tell you what, uh, movie going audience as your inspiration filters through to movie going audience as customers. Amen.
Yeah.
Why do you create indie comics, Sir Michael? And when did your journey start with indie comics? Is it that you have creative control to be your own man?
Yeah, I when I was younger in my 20s and whatnot, I was a musician, and that was like my huge passion for so long. And as I was like recording songs and working up to making an album, it started to become a concept album with characters. And then, life takes over. I realized I wasn't cut out to be like a touring musician.
No.
So I kind of put that aside, but I never let go of characters and storytelling. So it kind of had like one of those like in the shower epiphanies one day. I'm like, I don't want to give up on the story. How cool would it be to have it as like a comic? And that was partly inspired by there's that band My Chemical Romance, the singer Gerard Way. When they were big, I remember getting comics of did the Umbrella Academy. And I remember thinking like, wow, here's this like musician who's like also has this like comic creative outlet. It just all made sense to me. So that was like a pretty big inspiration for the idea of like, okay, I could take this concept album and make it a comic story. But then that in itself was too ambitious at the time for the story and my skills. So at some point, like around 2018, when I rejoined social media, I started making little chibi comics of myself, the Mikey character, as like jokes. And then
Right.
I was like, you know what? Let me give him a twin sister that's like a way smarter version, and she's a scientist. And that's how Gnarly Science
Developed.
started as like a web comic.
You could have
So
Chibi Michael. You could have Chibi Michael actually on your YouTube channel as a little avatar. Also, another idea that hit us like a bit. We were almost going, "Oh, Michael, Michael, got to tell you this bit." Is your music? You must have a copy of it somewhere. You could actually put that or remix it into a related concept of this and have it as an EP. There's one character you're talking about, Peter Sametti, Alterna Comics. Uh, is it Geronimo? That character with the surname somebody Geronimo, and he's got Blood Realm, and he did a red vinyl special edition. It sold out, and then did a white version of the reissue to separate it, the printing being different. And could you imagine in pink vinyl, Michael
Wow.
Ferraro's? I'm guessing it was heavy metal, heavy rock, kind of Motley Crue style your music, yeah, on an EP as merch. What would you charge for it? 100 special
Oh, dude,
edition.
like that'd be another
Hey,
dream.
you still got your music, right?
Yeah, yeah. And I also have friends that are musicians and they've like contributed things to me. Like my first plan was to have an album to be a companion to the graphic novel I was working on. But like I said, it was too ambitious. It was also too dark and it started kind of taking its toll on me. So Gnarly Science was to me like it was like serendipitous. It was like what I needed. It was fun. It's more me. Like I love humor and like we all have, dark periods or whatever, but I don't really want to wallow in
Darkness,
that.
light, angel, demon. Go on.
Yeah. So the older I've gotten, I'm like, there's life is stressful enough. I was like, let me just focus on something fun and as you can see with the colors and stuff, it makes more sense to me. Like I feel like I'm in my wheelhouse. Um, with the white spiders, there's some darkness, but overall, it's a fun, entertaining, heartfelt. It's very much about family. I don't want to give too much away, but
Family.
the main characters are twins, and they at some point had lost their parents. So a lot of the book is like reflective of that, but more underneath. There's not really like many like depressing scenes, but underneath know that there's like tension between the twins.
And the thing is, if you start off with the lightness being the front foot visual thing that gets your readers in your tribe, but there's that dark undercurrent, you've always got the option of going Empire and
Yeah,
doing the EP and being John Williams with the soundtrack with the
yeah,
next step.
totally. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Like I I feel like most great stories have that level of conflict. You need some darkness. But like I said, my old project, I was younger, a little edgier,
Of
and
course.
it was reflected in that. And I look back and I'm like, I like some of it. I've taken a lot and transported it into Gnarly Science or Cool It, but again, without like it getting too heavy.
Yes. How did one of our creative followers put it? She's a brilliant, brilliant, utterly brilliant poet. And we took two lines from it. It was something like, "The darkness is beautiful, but we need the
Yeah.
goodness."
Yeah, yeah, dude. It's totally.
What advice would you give aspiring creators, Michael? Because on this show, we listen, learn, and share as we do in the community. And those ideas, before you know it, you end up with a printer that can do 200 print runs for print edition, crowdfunded on somebody's answer to the way the big companies try to shut you down because you don't meet their standards. Okay, we'll set up our own thingy whereby we don't have to follow your rules. We can be indie comic creators and we can march to the beat of our own drum. What's your advice to creative indie comic families out there?
I think one thing I could say is to how can I sum this up? Without it being cliched. Like so take things day by day. Keep creating. So for me, I try every day to create something I'm happy with,
Mhm.
and that's fulfilling. And then if I share it with people, whether they like it or not, you know, it's still fulfilling. So ideally, other people will like it, and you get that positive feedback, and it encourages you, and it gives you confidence. But if you don't receive it, you have to remind yourself that you're happy with it, and then maybe the next thing people will enjoy. And I found that to be the case. Like, there's these ups and downs where it's just like, okay, they didn't like this as much as I thought, and vice versa. Sometimes I create something and I'm like, oh, maybe one or two people like it, and then a bunch of people enjoy it. So I just think because I feel like a lot of people get discouraged and will stop their projects because they get overwhelmed, or this was occurring with me with this campaign. Like, it was seemed soft at first. Like, I was like, man, is anyone gonna back this? Like, and what I've found is, and I'm sure experienced creators know this already, is like the most of the time I've gotten backers has been when I've been on streams, and then when I'm not on streams, it seems kind of dead, or there's just, so it's been good to like see these patterns and not get spooked, and like just keep. I just want to keep having fun. Um, so that's tied into what I'm saying. Like, as long as you stay positive about whatever you're doing, and keep having fun, uh, like you can't lose. You know what I mean? I hope that makes sense.
Family, truth, and fun every day.
Yeah,
Sounds like a gift from heaven, Michael. We
yeah,
love your
man,
outlook. Your philosophy, your outlook is heavenly treasure.
dude. I appreciate it, man. Tried to articulate it the best I could.
Oh, yes, treasure you have, and your outlook is a credit to you, sir.
Thank you so much, man.
What superhero would you be? We might like to be Wonder Woman or Hal Jordan's Green Lantern. What about you, Governor?
What superhero? Oh boy. Again, every answer seems like a normie. I mean, Spider-Man, I think, is my favorite superhero, and he, well, first of all, he's got a super hot girlfriend or wife, whatever the deal is with Mary Jane right now. Um, he, it just seems so fun the way he gets around swinging on webs. His strength seems like very not just proportionate to a spider, but he's not like Superman where he's like crazy powered, but he's not like human like Batman. So I feel like I I would gravitate towards to that happy medium. So I'll go with Spider-Man. Yeah.
Is it that emotional vulnerability, the fact that he could be hurt, that he isn't Superman, and that emotionally he's vulnerable? If not just through him, which he is vulnerable, but through those he loves, like Aunt May and Gwen Stacy. And yes, Tiger, Mary Jane. Apparently, he hit the
Yes.
jackpot when he got her. I suppose so. If it wasn't Gwen, it was going to be Mary Jane, I guess. We like your
Yeah,
answer.
I think that's why he's so beloved, and like, just in terms of the movies, like it seems like in a shaky Hollywood right now, like a Spider-Man movie is like almost guaranteed to be like one of the biggest things. And I think that's a testament to that. He's a very just well written, obviously going back to Stan Lee and Steve Ditko, like such a well designed character. And I'll just be the normie and choose him because it's like I'm not gonna fight uh arguable perfection. You know what I mean?
Arguable perfection, and the one thing 8 billion people have in common, as Yoda would say, all is emotion.
Yeah.
Bonus questions, not
Totally.
many. Here we go. Let's fly into them. What are your plans? Couldn't resist putting this artwork in for Cool It going forwards. Are we going to get an issue 2?
Oh, dude, we need. It is my life's mission to make volume 2. Like I said, I have this ending that I am that just so for people to read and experience that I got to make that happen.
with
Whatever I
a,
have to do.
with a pop vinyl EP as premium, heavy premium, deluxe premium merch.
Dude, yeah, volume 2 campaign. Let's get it done.
Let's get it done. We like the way you speak my language, Michael. Favorite pizza?
Oh, favorite pizza. Okay, so I'm a huge pepperoni guy. Oh man, I love bacon on pizza, but I don't know about all the time. So I'm gonna go with yeah, a pepperoni pizza. Yeah.
Tell you what, you see this hand? We're hungry, a little bit hungry now. This hand would go on pizza right now. That's how hungry we are. But don't worry, folks. This isn't our drawing hand. It just looks that way in the way our stream is mirrored. This is actually our right hand, your left. Don't worry, it's safe from going on the pizza. And just got to settle this, Michael. Pineapple on pizza or no?
All right. So
It's going down, folks. Ding, ding, ding.
uh philosophically, like I am against pineapple on pizza. I really do not think it belongs there. I have to admit I've had it and sometimes I can enjoy it. So I don't want to be a hypocrite, but being an Italian from New Jersey, I can't promote it. At least I can't really like if people want to do that. I'm not going to demonize them, but I can't in good faith promote it.
and and walk through the Italian community on crutches at the same time. Right, moving swiftly. Let's move swiftly on.
Yeah.
Now, Michael, where can they find out more info about Cool It, a book with a real visual kick?
Okay, so I don't have. I mean, I had a website at some point. Once I got into social media, as particularly X slash Twitter, that's primarily my hub. I have to really think about what I'm gonna do as far as getting more info. But right now, I'm looking forward to making videos, giving updates, explaining whatever's happening. So, like I said, I'm almost at 80%. If God willing, I get funded, I'll make a video talking about that and emphasizing the stretch goals. So you know what I mean. So like, if we get funded, then I will update people about the stretch goals and on and on. Yeah.
Tell you what, Jay Long of Heavyweight, a hey, we're going to do it. Close your eyes. A, a political conspiracy about gold-blooded boxers. And
Wait, I'm sorry about what boxes?
uh, on our show once we interviewed this guy who's, I tell you what, he looks young for his age, and he was a complete novice and he blew us away. It's our most viewed stream, Heavyweight by Jay Long, and he does a book called Heavyweight, and it regularly features in our indie comic promo. And it's a dark political conspiracy about heavyweight boxers with gold
Oh,
blood,
boxers.
kickboxers, we might say, with gold blood, yeah. And it's got nose crunching action, as you can imagine, with a nose going to a knee, sorry, a knee going to a nose. Would be quite brutal. Or if you're Woody
Dude,
Allen,
sounds right up my alley so far.
yeah. Or if you're Woody Allen, a knee going to some, sorry, a nose going to somebody's knee. And yes, who's that died like yesterday? Was it Mia Farrow? What a
Diane
shame.
Keaton.
Dan Keaton, sorry, Dan Keaton. Yeah. Dan Keaton. What a shame. We actually retweeted that last night and let it hang overnight. Yeah, just one of our growing up generational actors, and she was featured heavily in a lot of the Woody Allen movies. She was a great foil for him. Absolutely was.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, you could argue without her, his career is nothing like what it was.
Do you know sometimes in a comedy duo, you need the straight man for the guy to be funny, and I think she was impeccably that. You know what I mean?
Yes,
She gave his movies that spark. You know what I mean? To spark off. Yeah. Now then,
exactly.
I tell you what. The point we're trying to get to with Heavyweight is he did us a YouTube short. It's our most viewed thing on our YouTube site, on our sister Five Pillars Storytelling site. And you know what?
I gotta watch it.
1,000 views. 1,000 views. We'll link it to you. 1,000 views.
Nice,
If you did a series of those, it's quick, it's easy to digest. 15, 30, 45, maximum 1 minute. You'll kill it. With this, you'll kill it.
yeah, totally.
Now, what can we say about you, Michael Ferraro? You are a 21st century boy and a child of the revolution.
Yeah,
And we'd like to thank you so much for being our special guest, bringing a bit of glitter
dude,
and glamour and hot pink and cerise to our retina scorched eyes. We're so going to back this. We wish you well with the
dude,
campaign. We have no doubt it will fun as night follows day. So Michael Ferraro with Cool It and Godspeed. We thank you again. You've been a
dude,
fantastic guest, mythic and an honor.
dude. I am honored to be here. I'm honored that you asked me to do this. Again, I've been so scatterbrained. I got to reach out to more people, but you reached out to me, and like I was like, oh, dude, I'd love to, because of course I see what you do for the community. Um, I've always admired it. Uh, I'm envious. Like I was doing reviews. Once my campaign was in swing, I'm like, oh god, like I have to devote the time. But like I said, I can't wait to get back to reviews, and I should take a page out of your book and sometimes, at least sometimes, set up those like, show me what you got, promotion deals. Like you guys do that so well.
Tell you what, we think your strength is in reviews from what we've seen of them. And I'll tell you what, you can have your own promo day, pin your comic at the top of your page, let other people show you their comics, you know what I mean? Maybe review one two of them so you can have a promo day and tie it in with your reviews, maybe, so they can segue in, like that. Yeah. Feed
Yes.
into one another. And like butter and toast, you know what I mean? Sugar and pancakes. So we're going
Hell
to
yeah.
play our outro music and we're going to say, you are community-minded creative leader and our resident expert in-house today. And we think your debut first issue comic is going to absolutely kick Glitterball posterior. And we can't wait for that second follow-up with the Heavy Rock EP full of your vaulted, secret, classified music. We think
Dude,
you're onto something.
thank you so much. And thanks for that advice and ideas. Again, I'm going to rip off that arm ripping off line about the indie comic, but I will credit you, good sir.
Cool it. We'll tear your arm off. And on
That's
that
right.
note,
That's right.
let's let's get the outro music going.